Hey, I'm Roger EUC, and today I'm going to be showing you my stable of wheels, telling you what I've done to each of them, why I've done it, and what I feel is going to be coming for 2024, and see what of those will make it so I'm on these a little less. So, I'll start from the smallest and go to the biggest, even though I'd say my race wheels are a little more interesting. But so this is the A2. As far as the micro PEV thing goes, this is bigger than an M10-4, M10-3, all those sorts of things. But it feels like a real wheel. It doesn't feel like a toy. I took the pads off. I put on acrylic panels that let me put the Clark pads on the side, and it's just, I don't know, a nice wheel. I feel bad saying it's a nice reliable wheel. Sorry, Marty, but yeah, it's been treating me good. And with the street tire, it's a really nice ride. Then I've got the Extreme. So the Extreme and my off-road master, they're kind of battling right now for the right spot in my heart. But I don't know. The Extreme is definitely fun. It's fast. It's torquey. It's got a whole bunch of good stuff going for it. Some things it doesn't have going for it is I came out of the box with a bent rim, and then within like one or two rides, I did a lot more than bend the rim. Let's see, where is that spot? Yeah. So I've been riding it like that. It's I don't know. I'd call that broken, but it still works fine. So why swap it out? Okay, so modifications I've done on this. Obviously, the Clark pad system is on there to provide protection and make it easier to mount pads on the side where you'd want them to be. These are the CPX pads from Clark. They're the last 3D printed ones that I've been using of late for pads, because once those Titan foams came out, I don't see a reason to use anything else. But okay, so back here. So the fairing system and the pedals. These pedals are sort of oldie goldies from Chris Shaput. He made these. We actually sat in his office and were going through the design on them before he actually made them. And I don't know. I like feeling like I had part in something, which is also the reason I love these pedals. But we'll get to those in a second. Okay, the last modification I've done to this wheel is these things are super annoying for charging. Like sometimes you'll plug the charger in and nothing will happen, and it doesn't matter what current you have it set at. So I did my BMS bypass. I did a video on that one for this thing, and now I can plug it in and charge it at 12 amps, and I know it's not going to shut off in the middle of the charge because that's annoying. So as far as that mod goes, all the rest of the wheels here do have that mod, which is the voltage distribution board, charge board, shutdown bypass. So they all have FETs on the charge distribution board that will shut power off from the charger to the batteries if it thinks there's anything wrong. So that's a safety feature that I have defeated. Is that a good thing? I say yes, because I've been stuck up in the mountains with a beeping BMS before on this guy, and I had to like take things apart and sort of bypass it with wire that I found on the ground and things. Anyway, not that fun. Okay, so the Extreme. Awesome wheel, tons of torque. I don't imagine it's going to be like falling out of the top tier of off-road wheels anytime soon. Then there's the oldie goldie off-road wheel, which is the Master. And why am I still riding a Master? I think I like it better. I don't know, just the size, everything. It's more familiar for me, and it is not a normal master. So both of my race masters are rocking the C40 motor and the EX30 control board. So I've got more power and top speed and flexibility on the firmware. Like, for instance, this is looking like a master, but I can top 60 miles per hour on it on the straightaway at AVS. I run this one in off-road mode, which actually works now since I put in the metal battery boxes. Plastic battery boxes save you weight, but when you've got a picky firmware and you can't get past those oscillations, then something else needs to be done. And I just tried making everything as solid as I could. So I put like adhesive around the gyro on the main board that got it working. But when I changed the battery boxes to metal, then all the vibrations and oscillations kind of went away. So Off-Road Master right now with 50E cells in it. I also have the P42A cells in the battery boxes in my office. Those are still in the plastic battery boxes. But this is a pretty formidable wheel off-road, and I'd like to get some more miles on it because I didn't really get to run it. I never got to run it when it was operating properly. So it's always had issues, and now it does not have issues. And then I hurt my back, and the weather turned crappy. So this is my Street Race Master. This is the same configuration as that. It's got the motor and controller from an EX30. It's got, oh, and they also both, I didn't mention the tire spacer thing. I run those on both. Now, didn't probably need it on here, except for I wanted the clearance for the tire to the motor boxes. This one, it's on there because it gives me the proper profile to the tire so that when I am, so instead of the thing being like flat this way and then falling over, now you can see when the thing's leaning, I've got more contact area on the ground, and it can get me around corners, and it also feels like it takes less effort. So both of these wheels are running Fox shocks and the linkages that I made, which are not as good as the S linkage and stuff that's coming out now, I'm pretty darn sure. But I'm using, I don't know, probably maybe 30 millimeters of travel. I don't remember on the stroke of the shock itself. So this wheel looks a little bit more normal. I actually made this one look more normal also. It was way weird. It didn't have a display or anything before, and it had wires kind of sticking out. But I made everything look nice and clean. So it's looking nice and clean. And yeah, those are some fat wires I've got on my batteries. But okay, so this one is rocking the new race deck from Clark. So these are the Clark race pedals. I think he calls them the eWorks pedals. The nice thing about these is the I don't know, they're kind of forgiving. Like you can hit the ground with them and it's not that bad. Not I don't know. The first thing I said was that I would chop off that finger, but I haven't really found the need yet. So I'm leaving them as is for the time being, but when I spend a little more time on the racetrack, I might decide to do something else. But so Clark pads, Titan foam. Clark pads, Titan foam. Clark pads, Titan foam. So this is my EX30. This is the one that I hit 65.4 miles per hour on, mostly because I wasn't paying attention. But you'll notice this does not have a fairing system on it. So when I got the wheel, I don't know, I was one of the early adopters of the EX30 also, but there was not really a good fairing system for it. And then Grizzly came out with one, and now Clark Pads has one, but I still just left it the way I had it. So it's fine. I've never crashed the wheel, and it's treating me good like this, and I'll try not to be going that fast anymore. But the the new firmwares for the EX30 mainboard may very well have variable field weakening, which will let you change it anywhere from like 0 up to 90%, I think, probably in increments of 10. But that's not all ironed out yet, but we might not even see that on other wheels until we see it on the ET Max. But it's already in the software, so you might have it on your cell phone and just not know what to do with it. So EX30 also has the tire spacers, charge distribution board bypass. Those fairings are something called Kydex, which does not splinter and shatter if you crash, and it's also moldable with heat. So there's that one. But yeah, I've learned to like the EX30. I didn't like it for a long time, mostly because when I had it the first, like, I don't know, 6 months, you go over 45 and the thing starts bucking. Like, it had severe oscillations, and you'll see that was the wheel I rode in my San Francisco ride, and I was just struggling to keep up with the lead group, and the wheel just felt like it wanted to shake me off of it, but I held strong. Okay, now we've got the biggest wheel that I almost never ride. This would be only something that's under me if I'm on like a 100+ mile Marty ride. But yeah, it's not bad, but it's not fun. So I prefer these guys, which are all fun. This is okay. I mean, if I didn't know about these, I would love this, but I'd rather be on one of these. So distance ride, if I can swing it on the EX30, I'll do it on the EX30. If I can't, then I'll take this. It has the distribution board bypass with the topped out fuses, so I can run dual head connector from my charger and charge this one at 24 amps, but I charge it at 23 amps. Yeah, and this has the comfort pedals from Atom G. So those ones are big, comfortable, grippy, whatever, and they don't seem to be a problem on this large wheel. But I know that if they are on one of my other wheels, they'd be scraping on the ground all the time. So these pedals, I think Adam gave me a lot of input on how they would go, and yeah, and I helped with the perimeter profile and all that sort of stuff, and the spacing of the spikes. But yeah, so those are still maybe the highest ranking pedals for me, and I've never seen one like damaged in the slightest either. They are fairly indestructible. Now, the reason I use these on here because the steep approach angles and things that that you end up finding when you're trying to do silly stuff on a unicycle. Like I had those pedals on here before, and the last ride I did with the guys when we went up Mount Baldy, the off-road back route, there was those drops that I tried going up, and my pedal was like hitting the side each time. These pedals would not have hit the side. I would have made that nice and clean. But anyway, so these are kind of common wheels of 2023, and what we've got coming to us in 2024. I don't know. The two main things that we're talking about, I guess, are the ET Max, which is a 168 volt high speed, like, I don't know. It's like they made it for us. It seems like it should be a pretty good, impressive machine, and I'm looking forward to messing with that guy. And the Lynx. So the Lynx is 152 volts. I've ridden it, and it feels great. So just simply that I have time on the Lynx, and I know it's going to be great. I did order a Lynx. I also ordered the ET Max. Looking forward to trying both of them in different places and seeing how they compare to each other. But yeah, the Lynx seems like it's going to potentially dominate a lot of the off-road race stuff. Um, the the ET Max very well could be quite impressive, but it will be heavier, which I think makes off-road stuff a little bit less fun. But we will see shortly. I'm hoping that they'll be having those ET Maxes floating around here in the States sometime soon. It's middle of January as I'm recording this, I think January 21st. So sometime in February, we should see people playing with those wheels. Anyway, this is a rainy day EUC special, and I'll see if I come up with something else to upload later. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.